VG, have you ever wondered how long the game's lifespan will last? Because I love this game, but all things must go, and this game is one of my favorite games, and has been a way for me to connect with my dad. Oh man, Dominic, that's actually really cool that you found kind of a similar interest to connect with your dad. That's awesome, man. I don't think this game's going away anytime soon, if that's what you're worried about. I think you're right. All things must go. But I think you will leave this game before the game leaves you, if that makes sense. The only way that games die is if everybody stops playing. And in that case, unless you're one of the last few or something, which does happen, right? There has to be some people that are the last people playing. But more than likely, you'll be part of the people that move on long before that ever happens. Because think about it like this. There's already been millions of people that have left this game, but then there's always new people playing it too, you know? So more than likely, you'll cycle out of playing this game. You'll find a different interest. Maybe you'll find some other way that you connect with your dad or something else long before this game ever goes. And if that's not the case, if you're like, nah, man, we're in it until the very end, you know, well, I still wouldn't worry, because I think this game's I think this game has a lot of years left in it. This is somewhat new territory for games, by the way, because I agree, all things have to end at some point, right? But like, sometimes maybe not. Like, I don't know, like how long have people been playing Tetris for? You know, it's a different type of game. It's not even a game that tries to hook you month after month or whatever, but people still go back to Tetris. There's been games that have been going on for way longer than MCOC. Online games like, you know, RuneScape and you know, World of Warcraft or whatever, right? Like, these games, man, no one thought when they started making these games, oh yeah, people will be playing them 30 years from now. But is that going to stop in another 10 years? Is that going to stop in another 15 years, 20 years? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's actually a thing that'll happen. What's interesting is the question that you asked. It used to get asked like every single day. There were times where there was this kind of thought within the community of like, okay, yeah, I mean, eventually things will be over, and is the game, you know, is Kabam kind of sunsetting the game where they're putting it into maintenance mode? They're just doing the minimum necessary to keep the game alive, just to keep making profits on, you know, what they've already built up over the years, and whenever that dies down, okay, then they just flip off the servers. People used to think about that all the time. We used to have threads on Reddit. These are the classics, dude. I actually love these so much because you could tell, you could spot the BS from 50 miles away if you've been on the internet playing these games for any length of time. But for some people, it's the first time experiencing this, so they bought into it. They believed it. We had these threads of people saying like, oh yeah, my uncle, you know, my uncle, he works for Kabam, and he said they're actually putting the game into maintenance mode and things like that. It's like, oh really, your uncle, huh? Tell us more. Oh, what's that? He also worked for Nintendo and said the next Legend of Zelda, he goes to space. Oh, cool. Yeah, we definitely believe you. So we used to get these threads all the time, though, and I those questions have largely gone away because I think people can tell, like, no, man, this isn't maintenance mode. They're still rolling out new game modes. Yeah, like, not every month is going to be as exciting as the most exciting month that you've ever played, but like, they've added incursions, they've added relics, they've added battlegrounds. The 7-star rollout, people thought, oh god, if they ever release 7 stars, there's no way I'll ever touch this game again or something like that. Guess what? A lot of people still touch it. I'm not even saying those people are lying, because yeah, some people did stop playing when 7 stars came out, but for other people, it brought them back to the game. Because I think the 7-star rollout has been a lot better than the 6-star rollout was. So yeah, I don't think this game's gonna die anytime soon, and I think it's really cool that you were able to kind of, you know, play this with your dad. Although I'm seeing a comment now from you that says, my dad stopped playing a while back and only enjoys watching me play with our account now. Okay. And playing it for me is more of a memory of when we were both active, but I worry that it might lose its spark. Yeah, me and my dad started when Star-Lord was considered God tier, and I've played so long, I feel like it's only a matter of time. Yeah, you know, the last thing I think I'll say on this, or maybe it won't be the last thing, but what I'll add to this, what I just said, is like, that's natural, you know? It is only a matter of time, but don't be sad about that, you know? Because more than likely, what's going to happen is you're only going to stop playing this game when something else that you're even more interested in takes over. You know, so it's almost like something to be excited about. Yeah, it will be sad to like, you know, leave MCOC or whatever, but what is that next thing for you? You know, you don't know what it is, and you don't know when it's going to come. Could be tomorrow, could be 3-5 years from now, who knows? And whatever it is, I think the important thing is to carry over what started this conversation, and the start of like all of these messages is about you and your dad, you know? So whatever it is, don't forget that and include your dad in whatever the next thing is. Cause I'm not a parent. I have no kids. I have no plans on ever having kids, but I can almost assure you, just from my experience in this world, that whatever you're interested in, your dad will find a way to be interested because it's you. You know, your dad will be into it just because you're into it. And even though he's not playing MCOC anymore, yeah, that's why he still enjoys watching you play the game. You know, it's that connection. It's not you and MCOC, it's you and your dad. You know, so I wouldn't worry about whenever MCOC is no longer that connection between you guys, and something else will take over. MCOC died years ago. We're all in a simulation right now. Actually, that's true. That's a good sum up of this long tangent. Yep.